Nothing. You said that about 20 times. I'm tired of hearing it. I know you had something to do. I know you've been around here. You raped some girl. You killed her. You put her up for. You destroyed her. Tell me the truth. Huh?
Second class cinema. Wanna be together. Second class cinema.
Welcome to Second Class Cinema, the show where we watch a B movie and immediately discuss. I'm Tom. I'm here with Brittany and Eric.
Hi.
We sure are here.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you...
Are we?
I know. I am glad you're here because I definitely didn't want to do this alone because that would be the saddest podcast in the world because we watch perhaps one of the worst and most irrelevant movies we've watched to date.
Irrelevant?
Irrelevant.
Yeah. We should be making you do this alone.
No. Absolutely.
For what you just put us.
Listen,
No way.
I believe you're calling in a favor for me having forced you guys to watch the last match. So, turnabout is fair play.
Okay.
And we've watched a number of terrible horror comedies in our time, so everyone is at fault for something.
It's true. It's true. I mean, we've all done it. Maybe I'm the worst offender of doing these.
I did pick Leprechaun 3, so I can't talk to
Leprechaun 3.
I mean,
Leprechaun Origins.
Why would you? Never mind. Not even going to get into it.
Brittany really wants to watch Leprechaun 3, you guys.
Wait. No, that didn't
is
happen.
that
Okay.
in space?
I don't know, but we haven't even said the name of the movie yet, and I have to say it.
Oh, God.
So
save us.
Tonight we watched a movie called INhuMANity that came out in about 1999 or 2000 or whatever. The reason we watched this here movie is because this is a Bargain City Galleria movie, which they usually are for me. And they usually are because I need some way to make sense of why I buy all this shit.
AKA a flea market film.
It's a flea market movie, and I don't want to because I just buy them all the time. We have tons of these, and I don't want to I want to just watch them because I want to justify buying them.
Okay, so that's the why.
So that's the why, and so INhuMANity, the copy I bought came as a screener for a video store. So that just goes to show you the quality. It's not the actual movie itself, but this movie was about. Well, you see, so the thing about the movie is,
It doesn't make any sense.
it doesn't.
Okay.
No, all right.
So let's piece it together best we can.
I'll try my best.
All right. Call on
Okay.
a lifeline if you need help.
Okay, I will.
Is that your final answer?
It is.
Okay.
No,
I'm
just
only
kidding.
doing this because this movie is from 1999.
Okay. All right, I get it now. Okay, no. So this movie was about a woman, an attorney, who was raped by somebody in the beginning of the movie. And then the rest of the movie is kind of about trying to find out who did that.
It's kind of about that.
It's mostly her just getting harassed by cops.
And then there's these two cops played by Todd Bridges and Faison Love, and they are cops. They're not good cops.
No.
They're really terrible cops.
They're bad at their jobs, but they're like supposed to be funny.
Yeah. Yes.
I assumed the only way that this would even make an iota of sense was if it is intended to be a comedy.
Yes, I believe at one point I referred to this as a rape comedy.
Yeah. If it's supposed to be a comedy, it's absolutely abhorrent.
It's terrible. It's like Bad Boys. Oh, no, it's not.
Stricken from the record.
No, it's not. Yeah, you can get rid of that. We can pretend that
These
didn't
boys
happen.
are bad, but they
I
are not the
couldn't
bad
even
boys.
think of an insult terrible enough to compare it to Bad Boys.
No.
So
no.
just back it up.
Yes. So I do want to start this off with a question.
I have so many.
That's great. Well, let's hold on to them. I just want to quickly ask you guys. So on the screener that they send to video stores, they want you to buy the movie that they've sent you. So I want you to tell me if this is too much to purchase this on a VHS DVD combo to have rented in your video store.
Okay.
So, okay. $79.98. Would you pay for this much for that movie to be on your shelf at a video store?
Can you hand me the cover real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like based on '90s video stores, you could probably make your money back on this based on the cover alone. It's the quality of the movie doesn't matter. You know,
It'll get rented by someone like me who goes to Blockbuster 3 times a day.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But we were also talking how we are not this movie's target audience.
Yeah,
So
I honestly agree with Eric when he said he doesn't think that this movie has a target audience.
that is also true.
Okay, you clowns, cut the crap.
All right, so
I don't have
let's.
any positives. I'm just gonna jump the gun and throw that out there.
Okay, no positives from Brittany. Any positives from you, Eric?
Some of the music was interesting.
That's polite.
I was gonna say this is very polite of you.
You have table manners. Look at you.
Tom, do you have any successes? Because mine's going to transition to a failure like halfway through my sentence.
No.
So, no. Okay. So I did think this movie has two moods when it comes to music. It has what can only really be described as like the 7th level from a PlayStation 1 first-person shooter where you're planting bombs on a ship. It's got like a real action adventure urgency and like, you know, deep piano sounds. And
It's not urgent or an
No.
action adventure.
absolutely not. And then and one of the places where they decided to use this theme was during a sex scene, which is really bizarre.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, we're like, are they like investigating each other? What's going on?
And to transition into failures, now that we're done with successes,
Very smoothly done.
the other half of this movie was scored by 1999's obsession with rap rock, which is the worst. I would say the worst period of music history
Yeah, it was
in
like-
Western culture.
New metally, Limp Bizkit-ish
Oh no.
garbage.
It was so bad.
It was that it was beautifully new metal rap rock. It was beautiful.
Ugh. Vomit everywhere.
Pretty vomitrocious.
They definitely bought the CD for this soundtrack at the mall. Let's pig pile this movie with things it did
Let's
wrong.
pig pen it.
This
Okay.
movie had a $10 budget.
Okay.
The end.
All right.
The terrible camera work.
Okay.
Please.
All right. So yeah,
Somebody can
let's
elaborate
all right,
that.
let's break down this technical work.
All right. Well, I mean, okay. So we watched a very a cheaply made movie. The budget was very low, and they used a few different cameras to accomplish what they needed to get done. And it was very clear when the cameras were of different quality. One was a completely different aspect ratio that they would cut in the same scene to 2 different shots on 2 different cameras. It was very jarring.
Yep.
It was not good. And for example, a terrible scene would maybe start with a wide shot of a room and a conversation where people would then just kind of be yelling at each other in this wide shot, and then the camera would get a little funky. What it would do is it would just snap zoom in on someone's face. Doesn't matter if they were talking or not. And then from then on, the camera would just be searching and hunting. And there would be minute-long takes of people just arguing back and forth, and the camera just not understanding where it needed to go.
The
Yeah.
dialogue in this movie was like nauseating to watch.
It was almost as
Because-
nauseating as the camera work.
The camera like looked at her breasts at one point. It was like down, back up to the face, okay, to the other face. I was like, oh my god, what is happening?
It's terrible stuff. Terrible stuff.
It's so difficult to focus on the camera work at all. Like I had to look away a couple of times. It was so back and forth.
Like I've never.
Flowy, weird camera direction. I don't even like, and it was constantly zooming in and out. Like they were just like pressing the zoom button at
Like
random.
unfocused.
Yeah. Oh god, I don't know why they decided to do that.
I've
It
never.
would have taken less work to do it like more competently.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like.
It would have been much more boring if they had just left it on the tripod. But at least it would have been something that could have happened, because I've never seen anything like that.
It's pretty weird.
Fascinating.
I've never seen anything go down like that. Like, I'm not sure I have, and it's very clearly done.
Tom has PTSD.
It's done on purpose, which is
Yeah.
the most fascinating part.
Is that like they were going for like a stylistic thing? Like
Because they didn't do it once or twice; they did it a bunch of times.
it was pretty like it was done throughout the entire movie. Yeah.
And what I also found strange was that in the middle of conversations people would be having, they would have it kind of normally done, maybe not zooming as much, but then they would just cut to other footage they shot of them zooming in on somebody during the conversation that they were in.
Very nauseating.
The editing and the camera work in this movie is so incompetent. It's actually difficult to describe.
Yeah.
You know, like us trying to put into words how abysmal it is so difficult.
and it's truly unfortunate. I think as we're talking about this movie, I'm thinking about you know, when you listen to this show, it's great if you've seen the movie, right? It's great if you've seen and you're watching along and you're, you know, recalling the movie with us.
Yeah.
It's also kind of fun if you've heard of the movie and you want to see whether or not it's worth it, so you can listen to it for that. Unfortunately, no one's heard of this movie, and no one will ever watch it. So we're talking about it for no reason.
Wait,
We're
hang on.
shouting into the void right now.
I'm going to prove you wrong with one post on the INhuMANity message boards at IMDb.
Oh, okay. So what was said?
So this post was brought to us. This post was brought to us on November the 1st, 2007 by Jasper Velzeboer with the subject title Haunting, period. And the content of this post: this movie has haunted me ever since I first saw it. It has one solitary reply from Micah Minor, which says, no message.
What year was was that from?
These comments were posted 2000... The response was posted in 2013.
Okay.
And the original post was in 2007.
No one was ever haunted by this movie.
I'm haunted by this movie.
I
mean-
am now.
Maybe by like the amount of time lost watching it.
1 hour and a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it was an hour 18, which we were like, you know what? Even if it's bad, we'll be able to breeze through it.
No.
No. 6 years after this movie came out, that person watched it. That person rented it. I don't know what that person did.
They probably got a screener copy from some shitty Galleria.
Hey, man, gallerias aren't shitty. That's why they call them gallerias.
Because they're glitzy.
Exactly.
Fancy.
Technical failures aside, the story just like made no sense. It jumped all over. I couldn't tell what was happening now, what was happening in a flashback, if it was like a dream. Like who people were was a mystery to me. It was just a failure on so many levels.
There were a couple of spots where they used like that stock, like old-timey camera filter on top of the screen, and I don't know what that symbolizes or if it symbolized anything.
I'm not, dude. I'm
They
telling
were
you,
like, it looks cool. Let's just use it.
dude. I'm telling you right now. I'm not sure that was like a plug-in that they put on after. I'm pretty sure it was whatever they were shooting on was
Really?
that bad.
It
Oh,
had like the
wow.
lines in it, and
That's impressive.
Honestly, because it didn't feel like plug-in, so that means maybe it was a real subtle one, and it was like, okay, well, whatever. Because you can usually I can usually tell.
Yeah, because it looks the same as every other single one.
Exactly. I would say this one it didn't seem like a plug-in. Like it seemed just that's how bad it was.
Huh. Wow.
At least that's how it struck me.
That's impressive.
Which is weird. And what this movie did, which I think is just the ultimate no-no for a movie to do, is about halfway, a little more than halfway through the movie, we just wound up in an entirely new cast of characters
new situation.
in an entirely new situation.
This movie, Dangerous Men does.
It did.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that.
And you know what? There's definitely some parallels to be drawn between these two movies. Incomprehensible,
Dangerous.
abhorrent,
yeah.
fucking rapey as all hell for no
Yeah,
goddamn reason.
really rapey.
Oh, the biker gang movie?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
yeah.
Unfortunate.
We own that movie. Just like this one.
For some reason.
It's like terrible Bad Boys wannabe. It's so bad. I hated the police so much. They were like, oh, you just got raped
Wait.
yesterday. We're going to break into your house.
Brittany, would you say that you should fuck the police?
Yes.
Okay.
Fuck the police.
Yeah, he kept telling her that he was breaking into her funky ass house.
He's like, I broke into your funky ass house, cuz.
I will say that for most of the movie, I found it really terrible and horrible that we were supposed to be following these two terrible cop characters and I guess supposed to be rooting for them.
I don't
And
know.
then in the end, it turned out that one of them was the serial killer. So I guess maybe we shouldn't have assumed that we were supposed to be rooting for them. But either way, I hated them.
They were terrible.
But
And they were presumably our main characters.
The thing is I'm pretty sure I hated everyone.
Right.
I hated our main woman character, Cynthia, the attorney who got raped in the first. She was terrible.
yeah, she was bad.
Under every circumstance. And then there were these two gentlemen who we were following on the police side of things who were awful, and
They
I
were
didn't want to
awful,
see
yeah.
anything happen with them.
They just harassed her after her rape, broke into her house twice, and then one of the times clogged her toilet.
And
Yeah.
made popcorn.
And yeah, it was like, and they just chose the wrong subject matter to try and be funny with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't really get it because I felt like when they're at the rape victims meeting and everyone was like telling their story, I was like, this movie's like trying so hard to be sympathetic and like make a statement, I feel, but then it goes back to these two idiotic cops and you just completely undo any sort of
it gets like super fratty like
depth.
all of a sudden.
Yeah, it just made no sense to me.
Yeah, not good.
I don't understand the choices that were made.
I think that just assumes that there were even choices made to begin with. Instead of just someone flying by the seat of their pants. It's time to make a movie now.
That was very presumptuous of me.
Well, the director of this movie was the writer, the producer, the executive producer, the casting person, the camera operator. You know what I mean?
So this movie came out exactly the way he wanted it to, which is terrifying.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
That's what one could say about a movie that does everything on. Either comes out exactly or nothing like.
Now, on that note, this movie was put out by York Entertainment.
It was.
Oh, yeah, you guys.
And a while back, we saw another movie by York Entertainment called Dead or Alive, which also had the same concept of producer, director, scriptwriter, primary actor, like we're all the same person, like a total vanity project. And I think we did some research back then. We never got around to covering the movie, but I hope we could do it at some point because it's a lot more charming than this is.
I would like to do Dead or Alive at some point, for sure.
But what we had realized is that York Entertainment had a history of basically like taking on these vanity projects and kind of screwing over the producers, kind of, blowing smoke up their asses and then making a profit off of their hard work, even though, everyone gets screwed except for York Entertainment. The producer gets screwed because they were promised the world and they got nothing. And then we get screwed because we watch a terrible movie.
Yeah, the video store owners get
everyone
screwed.
loses.
Because they're stuck with a terrible movie.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone loses except for York Entertainment. And we started doing research on them a little while back, and it seemed like they have a real history of being a total horrible people.
Yeah, we have a few York Entertainment movies too.
Yeah, but hopefully at some point we'll cover Dead or Alive because it seems like York Entertainment kind of has a thing for these sorts of vanity projects.
Yeah,
Dead or Alive was at least vaguely entertaining in its incompetence.
Yeah, well, that had some charm in it, and so that's why that was a little more exciting to watch than this movie.
Because like, not to really go too much into Dead or Alive, but Dead or Alive kind of had like this weird like. It had like this charming like 90s action hero kind of thing going on. It sort of crossed with a little bit of like James Bond sort of like supervillainy. I don't know. Something about it was very innocent. Like, okay, so Hollywood cop versus like samurai cop.
Yeah.
This movie is the Hollywood cop to Dead or Alive's samurai cop, which is a sentence that makes sense to three people in the world, and they're all sitting here.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, someday we'll get that done, and we can dive into that a bit more. Anything else for failures?
I think we've laid this movie to waste.
We have.
Yeah, this movie basically fails on every level.
One thing,
but we sat through it, so we had to talk about it.
Yeah,
and here we all are.
This is our job, warning the world about INhuMANity. So I have two more things very quickly. That this movie it reserved the last 8 minutes to very shittily describe to us the rest of the movie's plot. They sat there and they just told us everything that had happened so that it would make sense, even though it still did not make sense. And then I want to say that this movie also failed in its title because it was interesting. So the way it's written out, so it's INhuMANity. There's a capital I and a capital N, in, and then we have a lowercase h and a lowercase u, and then a capital M, a capital A, a capital N. That's man, and then at the end we have lowercase I-T-Y. So INhuMANity, we have in man, in all capitals.
Yep.
What do you think that means?
That will require me to know what this movie is about in order to apply context to that title.
INhuMANity in man.
It might just be one of those things that there's just no depth to be found. I don't know.
They're like, let's make this lowercase.
we did a lot of dumb things in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's probably just another one of those things that we don't recognize.
I think that was like
my screen name looked like that.
I was saying, you think that was his AIM screen name?
Yeah, exactly.
Could have been.
Yeah. I just randomly capitalized shit in the stuff I had. But I was 12. I had an excuse.
Exactly, and everything had X's in front and the back. All right.
All right.
Okay. Favorite parts, guys?
I have none.
I've got a few.
There,
But
you
no.
sound enthusiastic about yours.
I mean, a little bit.
There is a part where Detective Bruce, played by Todd Bridges, investigates a corpse using a chicken wing.
That was one of mine.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to get that out because that's pretty much my only favorite
Was that?
part.
Did that really happen? I looked up.
Pretty sure, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was eating a chicken wing at a crime scene.
I looked up too late after they'd already like gone off his hand.
In fairness, so the reason I totally believe that he was investigating a corpse using a chicken wing is that his partner, Faison Love, was humping a corpse right before he did that.
It's true.
Like a fresh corpse at a crime scene.
Yeah.
Basically, I hate every character involved with this.
Yeah, they were all real bad.
They were terrible people. What else do you have for favorite parts?
I don't think well, I mean, the rest of my favorite parts are things that you guys said. So, I mean, does that count? I don't think it does.
I kind of want to hear him though.
Okay, well, I have a quote from Tom. I don't like this.
But he said it so uncomfortably,
Yeah.
like he had just seen something that disturbed him greatly.
This movie has haunted him ever since he's seen it.
You're just stressed.
I'm still haunted.
And I have a quote from you in regards to a very tight-faced white woman that was on screen. Shut up, Celine Dion.
I forgot all about that.
And that's all I have for favorite parts.
I have two. I have two favorite parts. So there's a character in this movie called Roberto who wore some fly overalls and had a stutter. And at one point he murdered the garden. And I
Oh my God, I forgot about
it was this character just violently stabbing
Dirt,
dirt.
muttering to himself.
Just not making any sense to anyone in the world, but I liked it. And there was also a backyard wrestling scene where we had a ninja type character jump off of like a balcony and fight the lawyer.
Oh yeah,
one of the
that
lawyers.
happened. Oh my God.
Former Dallas Cowboy Billy Williams fought him, and I think he killed him.
I think so. I don't know. That's another weird thing about this movie.
He punched him in the face, and he died.
Sometimes you never know when a character is dead in this movie.
Yeah,
Like, Faison Love dies halfway through the movie, and we didn't really know it was him.
because I don't
You
think
just see
it
him
was
get
him.
his throat cut in like a silhouette at night.
You know, it wasn't like I feel like so he worked on this movie, and then there might have been a scheduling conflict, or he's probably read the script. He's like, "What the fuck?" And
done
then,
here. Yeah.
I'm done. This is awful. And then they got some other guy to like just like another bigger guy to be in silhouette and die.
That's a good point, because that entire scene of his death was just shot like in a big foggy opening where there were like bright headlights like shining behind the two characters.
Yeah.
You couldn't really see any details. Like, I buy that as a likelihood. Like, they just wrote that character out of the movie halfway through.
It was
I don't know. This was so incompetent. I just think it could be anything.
well, and then
Like-
the guy they had wasn't even him.
The way they revealed the killer to us was just like something was happening, and then all of a sudden our main character Cynthia was being chased around a basement by like one of the cops who was the killer.
Well,
Like literally that fast.
Yep.
she shows up into
No explanation, no introduction to the scene, no
say-
anything.
She walks into this area. She says,
Now,
"Michael."
I do have one question. Why was she walking around in the basement of a YMCA? Because that's where she was.
She's looking for Michael. I don't know who that was. And then our character turns on the corner. He's just like, "Mommy."
Oh my God, I know. That was such like a weird thing to add into this.
And then there was like a flashback of his crib getting struck by lightning.
Was there really?
It might have been symbolically.
There was definitely
Well, I feel like there was lightning flashes while he was chasing her around in the basement.
no. There was absolutely flashbacks, shots of his crib, like being electrified.
Like really though?
Yes,
I don't.
they showed that to us, and now I'm supposed to believe that he is some sort of lightning monster.
Lightning maniac.
He's a lightning baby. He did look like a baby.
He did look like a giant baby.
He did, a
He's
giant
got
baby with a
big
mustache.
baby head with a
Lightning
mustache.
baby.
Big baby head.
Oh God.
I think those round out my favorite parts. Besides, actually, Eric getting confused that this was season 3 of True Detective.
It's much better than season 2.
Okay, is it time to rate?
Yeah.
So let's rate it then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with.
Yeah,
fuck
I'm going to
you.
have to give it an unfortunate fuck off.
Oh my God, my fucking father.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck yeah! All right, guys, let's rate this movie. INhuMANity from 1999 or 2000 or 2001.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Just go away.
You know what?
Is it, Tom, think before you speak, because this could be your last match.
You could never take it back.
Actually, you can, because I did about 20 episodes later.
Not with this one. We need to
No.
know where you stand right now.
Before we cancel the podcast forever.
You know what, guys?
I'm ready to tender my resignation.
You know what, guys? I hated this movie.
It was truly awful. This was truly a terrible movie. It was painful.
It was short.
It was short,
We hated it.
and we didn't love it. So,
I will say one thing in favor of this movie, and it's not something we've gotten to witness in a long time, is a movie that is, A, not really well covered by bad movie fans, and B, so incompetent that you have a great time making fun of it.
yeah.
We haven't come across something like that in a long time.
That's all we were doing for most of it.
Like, we eventually tuned out, and all it was us shitting on the movie.
Yeah.
But and if that is one true form of entertainment in itself, and that's definitely something that we love about watching these movies, is we stumble across one of those. This is one of those.
Yeah, this movie is incompetent enough where you can just have a blast railing on it the entire time.
It's also just completely incomprehensible, so it's not like paying attention will do you any good.
No.
So
We
just,
figured that out about an hour in. Like,
yeah, I mean, honestly, I tried.
Yeah.
I did. I was trying to listen and just trying to be a part of this movie.
I was just like, oh, I can crochet because this movie makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
No.
It didn't matter. So that's also why I will give it a fuck you, which is the worst.
It's the bottom of the barrel here at Second Class Cinema.
yeah, this is...
This is a
I'd be
unanimous
hard-pressed
fuck
to
you.
say that this is not the... Well, yeah, this is probably the worst movie we've watched on the podcast so far.
This is worse than Party Crasher.
Yes.
Yeah, Party Crasher was better than this.
This is worse than Zipperface.
Zipperface was pretty bad, but
Yeah.
I feel like this is worse.
It was more competently made at the very least.
Yeah.
This is worse than the last match.
That's a tough sell because the last match you couldn't really sit and make fun of and have entertainment from that perspective.
True.
So it would be a really tough decision for me to say that this is worse than the last match.
But they did grace us with a football getting kicked into a helicopter.
That is a good point.
They did
That alone
that, and
should put this that heads and shoulders above this movie.
they did have football like assault rifle training montage too.
Yeah, that too.
Like as much as we do hate it, like there was 3 minutes of
The reason
something good.
Yeah, the reason we get so mad at the last match is that it had so much potential to offer.
Exactly.
So,
It's like I'm disappointed in it. You know, like
About it again.
you know, like when your all-star son, you catch him drinking. You know, he's like the quarterback.
Not mad.
And you just really disappoint. Like you know it's gonna happen, but you just like, come on, man, get your shit
better than
together.
this.
You're better than this.
Yeah.
This movie though, this is like the kid who never had a chance.
no. And who knows if it ever did. I mean, rental places might not ever pick this up.
Well, we know Bo Video. Actually, we don't know if they did because they just had the screener.
They could just
copy.
held onto the screener and then sold it because they knew no one would care. Really,
I bought it for $1.
yeah.
Maybe less.
That's like a 1% discount based on the prices you just read to us.
That's true. That's true. I was blown away by how much this is. Actually, the VHS copy was $64.99 to buy for your rental company.
Yeah.
By your rental.
And I mean, I wonder if those prices, I'm guessing those prices were all handled by York Entertainment.
Oh yeah.
They were probably just like, yeah, we'll take in your movie. We'll send it out to all the rental companies and, you'll collect X amount %.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure how that business is run, but I would not be surprised to find out.
Poorly,
that that's
because I don't know
happened.
if they're still around. But
I'm not
That's-
even going to feign like I knew any fucking thing that happened in anyone's head to make this movie.
including yours.
Well, that's the fun part is trying to understand the true why. Why did this happen?
You might even ask, how did this get made?
I feel like
One could
whoever
ask
made
that.
this thought that they were so funny,
Yeah.
and I can tell you here today
Yeah.
that they were not.
Oh. Well, that's a shame.
Now, do we have any final thoughts or questions we need to ask about this movie? Anyone?
Final farts.
Final farts or questions?
No.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
You really hated this movie.
Oh, I was going to say this movie actually fit into my current life situation because I've been recently working on a new metal playlist on my Spotify account.
Why would you do that?
And I've been listening to it every day.
I heard you listening to it in the shower today.
It's true. Well, you want to know what it was? It was watching Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bolorama, which tumbled into listening to that Static X song, which then just snowballed into now creating an entire Spotify playlist with Dennis, the two of us making a new metal playlist together.
Oof.
And we share and listen. And then he yelled at me the other day because I put dope on it.
Did he call you a dope?
He should have.
Hey, you big dope.
Now that I've bored everyone to death, that's it, right?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
That's it. We're done.
No more final farts.
We're done. All right.
The sad thing is this movie's going to come up again when we watch Dead or Alive.
It will.
And I
it will,
know it's not going to get referenced anywhere else. So it's going to make one final return and we'll never talk about it ever again.
Well, maybe, because we're talking like this is the new worst. So that
Its
means
existence should just be snuffed out.
that means it's the number one something.
It's number one, all right.
It is. So you've been listening to Second Class Cinema. We watched INhuMANity. InMan. From
Don't confuse it with Ip Man. That's a much better movie.
from about 2000, and it was a terrible thing. And if I had rented it, I would have been disappointed.
I bet I'm disappointed.
Atrocious.
Atrocious. If you'd like more information on Second Class Cinema, come to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Second Class Cinema. If you'd like to listen to our podcast, you can start wherever you're listening to us right now, and you can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, secondclasscinema.com, and followingfilms.com. That's it. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're done?
We're
Yeah.
we're done.
Okay.